Hi, I'm Kevin,
And I'm Amanda.
and we are serving up
All that jam.
All That Jam, Quick Hit. Stuart Bogie on the Bogie Band featuring Joe Russo.
The brand you have with Joe Russo, that came about after COVID or
No,
during
I
that?
I wrote that. I basically had written all most of it before COVID, and then I made the album during COVID.
Okay.
I
And
arranged the album. During COVID.
that's a 9 piece, a 10 piece?
We perform with like 10 or 11, but on the record, it's probably like 24 voices at any given time.
Right. And how did you guys approach that?
Um, I didn't have a ton of session time, so I had 2 or 3 days with Joe and the tuba, John Altieri, and then I had probably 4 sessions with the horns, and each session was around 2.5, 3 hours. Not a lot of time. Put the music in front of people and get a few takes, get a couple solos, and keep going. Heavily arranged, heavily prepared. So the improvised clarinet solo is the opposite. In the improvised clarinet solo, you just prepare your mind and your body. Coco, that's my cat. Coco remembers the clarinet thing. She doesn't know anything about the brass stuff. You remember that? Yeah, she was there for a lot of it. Actually, she appeared. um, but yeah, so it's the opposite. You're preparing your mind and your body to kind of receive the experience. You know, you're letting go of anything, and the other is you're composing. You're trying to. If there's anything left to question, you want the path to be very clear for everybody to kind of play what you intended, what you hear. So they are two sides, two different sides of the thing.
So it's just a blueprint, what you did on the album, and you allow it to just open up and go where it goes when you're live?
We've done that occasionally, but because a lot of the stuff involves synchronicity between the musicians, we rely on the arrangements. We'll
Right.
throw in new repeats, or we'll say, "Hey, let's go back to here," or take a solo here. But it's not. It's more like a big band. So things are
Right.
they're prescribed. In order to get a big band to be very fluid improvisationally, requires both a rehearsal and a sort of vocabulary. Groups like Burnt Sugar, which is based on Butch Morris's improvising conduction groups, that then the leader has a sort of a what they call conduction. With Butch Morris made this thing called conduction, which is it's improvised conducting with a large ensemble, so everybody can act collectively, and there is some improvising. Sun Ra had similar things, and John Zorn's had his like large ensemble game pieces, but um, no, with our group, it's more about the music as is written.
I came across have you seen the Sun Ra movie Space is the Place?
Oh yeah,
I came across that the other day on HBO or Paramount or one of those streaming services, and I had never seen it. I was like, Isaac from The Love Boat is in it.
really?
Yeah, the bartender from The Love Boat, Ted Land.
I gotta check that again. It's been a while since I've seen Space is the Place. I think it
Oh,
was probably
so
pretty late at night on like a third
I
generation
know.
VHS tape.
Let me ask you: is Sunrise that? It doesn't sound like it's arranged at all. It sounds like they're just out there, kind of going with it. But I guess think I'm not a musician, so I mean, is all that stuff written out when it sounds like they're playing two different songs at the same time? And
Sometimes it is. I think uh, it runs the gamut. Some of it there's like gestures that he does. Other times there will be, I think, two ensemble pieces written out that he wants to happen at the same time.
right,
Other times, a line can be played freely, but still, have this sequence of notes. So during that whole period of time, from I think that the 40s on, there was all kinds of experimentation with different sort of notation, in what they call the Western classical. That term doesn't work, but um, composers were going at it in all kinds of different ways, and I think Sun Ra tried a whole bunch of different ways, including the hyper arrange world, which is coming out of like big band of Fletcher Henderson. It's such a great virtuoso of orchestrating things, all the way up to things that feel incredibly spontaneous, and you're capturing sort of like it's more like a happening or an experimental kind of thing.
Right.
He had all that, and I love it all. I'm not a scholar of it. There are definitely Sun Ra scholars out there.
Yes.
I am a student and a relatively casual student.
If you are enjoying All That Jam, please like and subscribe to our social media channels at All That Jam Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or visit our website, allthatjampod.com. Make sure to sign up for our email list and tune in every week for new episodes.
Also, look for full interviews on our YouTube channel. And remember, stay beautiful, but don't stay underground too long.